let's make some of my favorite snacks. A lot of you ask me what I eat every day, and it's usually just my choice of breakfast, which is usually either a fun sourdough item that I make, whether it's avocado toast, pizza toast, or French toast, or my new favorite little life hack is I meal prepped smoothies in a bag. I literally just have a pile of them in here, so I'll literally just take one of these, pour it into a blender with almond milk, and call it a day as a little pre-workout meal. Or I'll leave in the description what I put in my protein smoothie. It's not amazing, but it definitely helps with some lean gains, which is my goal always. Now, because I love you guys, I do gatekeep some things, and I'll be spoiling some of those in here because shout out to you for subscribing and watching this video. So the first thing I have every single morning is iced green tea with peppermint. It is everything and more, and I promise you, it's like changed my life. It's like burned extra body fat that I just like literally could not get rid of. I'm actually gonna make one right now for you guys. It's actually insane. I don't brew green tea every single day. I make a gallon of it at a time because I go through this. I put Tana onto this. We are obsessed and we will drink multiple cups a day. Green tea is really good for you, a lot better for you than coffee, and it naturally speeds up your metabolism, which is a little added bonus. But the reason I started making this is because I loved yerba mate so much, and I was like, there has to be a cheaper way to have yerba mates every single day. And also something about yerba mates, I can chug them in like 5 seconds. I wanted more. I was like, it's kind of like green tea with peppermint, right? So what I did was brew 16 bags of green tea in this gallon and then add peppermint syrup, and it's everything and more. And I use the sugar-free one. It's the best thing I've ever had in my entire life. I actually prefer it now over yerba mate. So let's make one real fast. I'm not gonna be brewing them because I already had it brewed. You can just literally put 16 of these in a gallon of water. That's what I do, and I just wait 24 hours and then take the tea bags out and start making my green tea. What I do for my green tea is I literally just put 2 or 3 pumps of this right into my glass and then just add my green tea, and I'm just making this because I want it so bad. And there we go. The easiest way to burn fat, and like quite literally the best. It tastes so amazing. It's so refreshing. Just don't have too much, okay? Only maybe 2 glasses a day. Maybe 1 would be, you know, ideal. Now I know what you're thinking, Ashley, get back in the kitchen. I know, but today's video is actually sponsored by none other than the fitness brand themselves, Gymshark. I'm so excited. Right now I am lounging in my Gymshark hoodie and sweat set. It has a cute little detail on the back and on the butt. Ooh, makes my butt look amazing. I feel like Gymshark needs absolutely no introduction. I have loved Gymshark since the second I laid my eyes on it. I don't even know when that was. I think when I was still in high school. They've been an amazing brand since like 2012. Literally with one of my first paychecks ever, I went to Gymshark and bought gym attire because it is the best, the comfiest, dare I say, cuntiest fitness clothes. And obviously I'm sure you saw my cute little shirt and the cutest leggings that I was wearing in this video that flare at the bottom. They're so perfect. And on the butt, they have a great little design to make your butt look even bigger, which I need. Okay, it's gone. Whether you're working out or making protein snacks like me, their stuff makes you feel so confident, so comfortable, and it moves with you, not against you. Now, of course, I have a code for you guys. Use it at checkout to get 10% off your next order. I will leave a link in the description below as well. Be sure to check out Gymshark. Their stuff is amazing. All right, now back to the snacks. Now that I have my green tea, then I start making my breakfast, which is usually either avocado toast, pizza toast, French toast, or a smoothie. For lunch, I either have my meal prep or I have a bunch of my favorite snacks. So let's go down the list of some of my favorite snacks that I like to keep in the house. I'm a big snacker. So one of the easiest ways to have like a little meal in quite literal seconds is to always have frozen shrimp cocktail. I know this is weird, but also like sometimes I let myself get to the point where I'm like, oh my God, I can't even think, I'm so hungry. I need food. That's crazy. There's shrimp cocktail already made for you. Oh, I lied. Mine's still frozen. I let it thaw last night, but it's like still frozen. I really wanted to eat it today. Damn. Actually, that being said, it brings me to my next point, why this is so good to have in the freezer. You can also just get like frozen shrimp in general and have them in the freezer and then have cocktail sauce in your fridge. When I just want a quick source of protein, I'll literally grab however many shrimp I want out of the freezer, put them in the sink, run it under some like warm water until they're thawed, god, seconds later, now I just have shrimp cocktail. Get the cocktail sauce out of the fridge, boom, done. Are you kidding? Need I say more? No. Something that I love having in the house, which isn't protein, I know, but can be added with a lot of these snacks for a balanced little mini meal, is fruit, okay? I love having fruit in the house. Grabbing fruit obviously is a lot better than grabbing a bag of Doritos, even though, honey, I do that too, you know? Balance. Life is about balance. I will have Taco Bell, but I'll also eventually eat this whole bucket of fruit. It's so much heavier than it looks. There's a watermelon in here. With fruit, I might add some cottage cheese. Obviously, the girlies know, if you're watching this video, you know what good culture cottage cheese is, I assume. And if you don't, at least I'm putting you on, okay? Better sooner than later? Better later than, I don't know. But good culture cottage cheese, I always get the low fat unless they have the lactose-free one, the purple one. Oh, that's my girl. But I won't complain, even though my stomach might a little bit. That's the one thing with eating a lot of protein. You might have to eat some animal products. At least in my experience. I have been vegan before and I was in the kitchen a lot of my year. So fruit, cottage cheese, or even the cottage cheese that comes with cut up fruit in it, like the strawberry one, amazing, especially by Good Culture. Good Culture. So with our fruit, we're either gonna have some Good Culture cottage cheese or non-fat Greek yogurt. Now, why do I have both of the knockoff ones? Usually I'm like bougie and I have the Costco Greek yogurt or I have like the Chobani Greek yogurt, but these were on sale for $1 and I was like, same exact thing, but $1 versus like, I don't know, 3. So we're gonna try this one out and see if it's good. But Greek yogurt, fruit, rice cakes on the side. Now, speaking of rice cakes, I told you this isn't miserable. This is not supposed to be a miserable life that I live, okay? These are my snacks that I actually enjoy, but they have protein and they're good for you. Speaking of, Drizzilicious makes the best little rice cakes. They have so many different flavors. I think s'mores is my favorite. I don't know if I've tried birthday cake yet. We also have a pumpkin spice. I'll try the pumpkin spice for you guys because 'tis the season. I'm not really a pumpkin spice girly though. Let's see. It smells amazing. It smells like a Bath and Body Works candle. They make little rice cakes, tiny little rice cakes with little drizzles of stuff on it. I'm actually gonna try both of these. So amazing. Drizzilicious, I love you. Okay, so I'm looking at the difference in calories for like a rice cake versus Drizzilicious, and it's like 60 calories versus 90 calories. Realistically, girl, I'm eating these and I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm like, it's literally a rice cake. Don't talk to me. It has 30 extra calories. If you even eat the full serving, you might eat more. Worth every extra little calorie because it's actually amazing and healthy. Like, sorry, what's like good but like healthy? Now we're gonna try it with the cottage cheese. I love cottage cheese. Oh my god. Whoa, that just tastes like a cream cheese pumpkin spice bagel. This is everything. Oh my god. I'm also not really a birthday cake girly, but let's try it. I do love sprinkles though. Where's the sprinkles at, girl? Don't be shy. Like, hello. You can hardly see the sprinkles on these. I'm trying to get like a good one. This one has cute little sprinkles. It smells amazing. Oh no, those are insane. I hide these from my roommates because they're so good. It literally tastes like cake when you add it with the Good Culture cottage cheese. I don't know if you guys saw my TikTok, but I tried Drizzilicious with cottage cheese, the strawberry cup of cottage cheese that I've never had before, with the s'mores, and I was like, oh my god, this is my new hyper fix. And it is. With one of these little fruits on the side, amazing. I don't want to stop, but there's more we gotta get down to. Next up, I found this on TikTok. It's protein cookie dough, and it doesn't taste disgusting. I love it. The second I found this on TikTok, I could not stop making it. Once I made it once, it was like game over. I have it every single day. So I make this using my Ninja Creamy. This is what actually got me to use my Ninja Creamy again because I don't know, I wasn't loving how my protein ice creams were necessarily coming out. So if you don't have a Ninja Creamy, literally just use a blender or a food processor. But let's get right into it. So into your blender or Ninja Creamy cup, I'm just gonna add 1 serving of vanilla Greek yogurt, non-fat of course. Then we're going to add a scoop of protein. I've never tried this one before, but it smells like a cookie, so I'm so excited actually. Shout out In Bloom. They sent it to one of us, I don't know who, not me. Then we're gonna add a heaping scoop of PB2, like this much. Sure. Oops. I'm making a mess. You can use more if you want, but that looks good to me. Well, actually, I actually love mine like a little bit heavy on the peanut butter. If you don't have PB2, you can use peanut butter or just more protein or less Greek yogurt also. The special ingredient that I think you just need to own if you have a Ninja Creamy is sugar-free Jello. Sugar-free if you want, regular sugar if you don't want, I don't know. We're just gonna add a dash, okay? This one's vanilla. If you can find a good flavor, that would be really fun to mix in here, but I only had vanilla at my grocery store, so yeah. I probably added too much, but that's just gonna make it more fun. Okay, so this part is where we can get a little creative with it and add whatever toppings you want / sweeteners. I do have like a lot of I always just have a lot of sweeteners randomly at my house. So let's see which one we should use. Probably the most random thing that I do is just whenever I'm in TJ Maxx or Home Goods, I always come home with some sweetener. Literally, this one was TJ Maxx and this one was Home Goods. So we have some Mexican cinnamon sugar-free and vanilla bean. So I'm definitely gonna add probably a mixture of both of these. You can also also use some monk fruit sugar. I'm like, should I do all 3? No, that's crazy. But they're all 0 calories. I'm gonna do a little pump of vanilla bean. That was probably too much of the cinnamon. If you can't tell, I make this differently every single time. Oh, I forgot I blended this. Oh, I blended this for my French toast, my monk fruit sweetener. That recipe needs to come out. That's amazing. Follow me on TikTok if you want to see my French toast recipe and let me know in my comments. And yes, of course, it's with sourdough. Now you obviously add your choice of toppings, which mine's just always going to be chocolate chips. You can add sprinkles. You can also add cinnamon, but I obviously added the cinnamon sweetener. And in my opinion, when you're eating a healthy snack that is something like this, you know, protein mush, I like to call it, the additives like chocolate chips or whatever you add, in my opinion, don't matter because you're already eating something healthier than a bag of chips. I don't know. That's just the way I think about it. I'm like, those chocolate chips were 0 calories. So, okay, now we're gonna blend this. I'm gonna blend mine on the gelato setting and I will be right back. Okay, now for the moment of truth. Let's try this. It looks amazing. Obviously, this is like a serving size or 2 serving sizes. Depends how much cookie dough you want. You could also put this in the freezer for a little bit to like thicken it up. Not thicken it up, like it's thick, but like make it colder and harden it. I don't know. Sometimes I put mine in the freezer while I'm like cleaning my Ninja Creamy. Wait, I'm obsessed. Oh my God. And it's such a nice, you know, it's like cookie, I'm gonna say cookie dough batter, but like, yeah, what else was it supposed to be? Yeah, that's the thing. This consistency is like cookie dough batter versus like cookie dough. You could save this in the fridge or in the freezer, but if you save it in the freezer, it will turn into stone. So you'd have to wait like 30 minutes for it to defrost before eating it. All of these snacks, I'm like, wait, I just want to keep eating. It's so good. And there's like, I don't know, 4 million grams of protein in this. I should probably say I'm not a dietitian or a nutritionist, but I might as well be. Take my advice or don't. Here, damn. I swear I know what I'm talking about, kind of. Total side note, but back to the fruit thing. I just got back from Hawaii and they have Malona bars, which is melon flavored ice cream bars. They're like everywhere there. And I came back and I was like, now I just kind of like am craving honeydew. And this was completely full yesterday, last night. And I damn near cleared it. I had to stop myself. I was like, oh my God, Ash, like stop. Me and my dog were eating this melon together, this honeydew. Guys, if you've been sleeping on honeydew, go right now because it's in season for a little bit longer. It is amazing. And usually I'm scared of like these pre-cut melons, but this is the best thing I've ever had. Go to the store right now. Either get a melon or get a pre-cut melon. I didn't know how to choose them. Google was confusing me. I feel like these pre-cut things always taste bad. This is amazing. Honeydew season's about to end. Go get some honeydew. We're sponsored by honeydew in this house. This next recipe is another one I found from TikTok with these cookie dough date bites. Are you kidding? I knew that they were gonna taste good, but they taste amazing. I could not stop eating these, which was good. I was like just, you know, eating yummy protein, but they're actually amazing. Now, you're like, Ash, you just made cookie dough. Why are you about to make more cookie dough? You could just take the cookie dough we just made and put that in the dates, but we're not going to. So because the flavor of these cookie dough bites are just absolutely perfect. I just didn't realize I was doing cookie dough and cookie dough. Sorry, I love cookie dough. All right, anyways. Okay, so I'm not going to be making the full batch because the full batch makes about 24. I'm gonna be doing half a batch, but I'll leave the recipe down below and I'll link the TikTok below down as well. So first we need a scoop and a half of protein. I used vanilla again. Next we need half a cup of gluten-free oat flour. You can also just blend some oats. I'm using almond flour because that's what I have. I don't have any oats, okay? Next is a third of a cup of this house cookie dough spread. You could also just use peanut butter, whatever nut butter of your choice that you want, but I used this in the recipe and it's insane. So now that I bought it, I am using it. This cookie dough butter is so insane. A third of a cup plain Greek yogurt. I'm just eyeballing mine. Also, mind you, I am making half the recipe. Okay, so I'm livid. My maple syrup's like definitely expired. It's fuzzy on top. It's fuzzy on top, but let's add a tablespoon of maple syrup. Since I don't have maple syrup, I'm going to, and I also don't have honey either, which is insane. Only hot honey. I'm just gonna add a pump of this vanilla bean sweetener. A teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm gonna use vanilla bean extract from Trader Joe's. IYKYK. Vanilla bean paste. Sorry, bourbon vanilla bean paste. I'm a liar. 3 tablespoons of milk. I use almond milk. Okay, now we're just gonna mix until this is well combined. Hopefully mine comes together given that I eyeballed most of the ingredients and cut the recipe in half. It smells amazing. Be sure to really try to break up that nut butter cookie dough that we used. Hear that? On a cookie dough. Oh my gosh, I forgot the best part. I'm so sorry. And we're back with the mini chocolate chips or whatever additive you want. Additive, that sounds crazy. Topping you want. Additive. I'm not gonna get over that. Can never have too many chocolate chips, right? Oh my God. Yep. See, this is why we made another cookie dough batter. I'm not saying the other one's bad. I'm just saying this one's amazing and I don't even have the maple syrup. It's even better with the maple syrup. Now that we have our cookie dough mixture, we're going to line a baking sheet with parchment paper. I don't have parchment paper, so I'm going to use my Silpat, which is essentially reusable parchment paper. And it's so much better for the environment, I think. I don't know. So next, of course, we need our dates. I don't know if these are good or not. I just bought them yesterday for the first time. I usually always get these ones. I know these ones are amazing. This brand, what is it? Real. These are real good. Okay. These ones are good. They're not pitted dates, but they're amazing. These ones are pitted dates. Hadley, are they hardly good? Dad jokes. Oh, these are smaller. They're really, really good though. If you don't like dates, grow up. If you don't like dates, try them again. You might like them. Okay, so now you want to get yourself some dates. I really recommend getting dates from the farmer's market, but here we are. These are from the grocery store. If you've never had farmer's market dates, next Sunday, babe, go to the farmer's market, see if they have some dates. They're unreal. Unreal. Look at how big these are. I'm gonna try to flatten them. I'm just gonna push it down and flatten them and leave the date to the side. I like to cut down the middle like this, not all the way through, and then just flatten them so they look like butt cheeks. I'm like quite literally 12. Also, be sure not to flatten them down too hard because at the same time, these are gonna be our little cup holders, if you will, for our cookie dough. Okay, so now grab your lined baking sheet and your cookie dough, and we're just gonna scoop the filling onto each date. Okay, now that we have our dates filled with cookie dough, we are going to pop them in the freezer for like 30-40 minutes just so they, hold together while we cover them in chocolate. Now that it's been like 30 minutes, we are going to make the chocolate hard shell. I just have some allergy-friendly 72% cacao dark chocolate chunks. We're going to melt 195 grams of this in the microwave, or you can do a double boiler method if you want. That works as well. Next, we're gonna add 5 grams of coconut oil. Now I'm gonna do 30-second intervals in the microwave until this is melted. Okay, taking the chocolate out each time and making sure to stir it after each 30 seconds. We gotta move around the chocolate so it melts evenly. Okay, so I just had to do my chocolate for a minute. It still looked a little chunky, but I stirred it up and now it looks gorgeous. So I'm gonna set that to the side and grab the dates out of the freezer. Okay, so I like doing the, what I call double fork method. I don't know. I'm just gonna plop these into the chocolate with these forks, pick them up, give it a little shake, and set it on our parchment paper. Make sure that before these dry, you sprinkle them with some flaky sea salt. Gorgeous. I promise it makes the biggest difference. The sweet and the salty, it makes it like even sweeter and even better. Okay, now that we have all of our dates covered in chocolate, now we're gonna pop them back in the freezer for 30 minutes. And then after that, we're gonna leave them in the fridge or you can enjoy them. But I like to store mine in a little glass jar like this and put a layer of parchment paper in between so they don't stick together. Okay, this next recipe I wanted to show you because it's a little life hack to make this a little bit skinnier and healthier and more protein, which is my tuna salad recipe. I also have a chicken salad recipe that I've definitely shared on here before. I'll link it if I can find it. But I don't think I've shared my tuna salad recipe on here. So let's just make it. I feel like tuna salads and chicken salads are kind of something that you like eyeball. So I'm gonna go in with solid white albacore tuna in water. I'm gonna use like 3 cans because I like to keep this in the fridge. So whenever I'm brain dead, I can just open the fridge and this is there and I add some rice on the side and some cucumbers or edamame. And it's a nice little protein bowl. So what I do is use equal parts tuna to celery. I don't think my bowl is going to be big enough today at all. So I'll be adding the rest of this in later. But now that we have our tuna, I like to break it up a little bit. It can be a little difficult to break up the tuna sometimes when it's super dry. So let's just add in our secret ingredient, which is Tana's collaboration with Kaylin and Kaylin Pickles. I just like to use some of the brine. I used to use the pickles in here as well, but the pickles are far gone. So I'm just gonna do a little splash. And then instead of mayonnaise, I'm going to be adding in Greek yogurt. With all these added things that we're adding in, you're not gonna taste the difference between mayonnaise and Greek yogurt. Also, mayonnaise freaks me out and I'm allergic to it, so eggs. So we're just gonna go in with dollops. If you don't have Tana's pickle juice, you can obviously just skip that part all in all. I used to not use it until her pickles came out. I was like, I need my tuna to taste like this, and I would put my tuna on top of the pickles and make like little pickle sliders. Just be careful with the Greek yogurt. You can always add more, but you can't take it away. Okay, that looks nice. I like mine kind of dry, oddly enough, even though it's not gonna be dry at all because we're not done with liquid. I like my tuna to be sour, so I like to add some red wine vinegar on top of the Greek yogurt that's also sour. Oh, that was way too much. Cool, great. So it's gonna be sour. I can smell it from here. But this pickle juice and the red wine vinegar will take away any hint that we use Greek yogurt. For seasonings, we're gonna go in with Lori's garlic salt, of course, eyeballing everything, do it with your heart, black pepper, red chili flakes, that was probably too much. The number one and only one seasoning I really talk about, Spice Right Everyday Blends. I don't know, best seasoning in the world. Then I'm gonna add some of this Green Goddess Trader Joe's seasoning as well. This is stir. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to transfer this into a different bowl. Sorry you won't be able to see as well, but this is what it's looking like right now with all the seasonings in there. Gorge. I like my tuna to look like a funfetti cake. Okay, like I said, I like to go in with equal parts celery because why not? It's just adding in so many vegetables. And then I'm not going to add maybe all this red onion in it. I'm going to wait and see what it looks like. Actually, maybe I will. I lied. You know what? We're adding all of it in. And then I also have I think they're called hot and sweet jalapenos from Trader Joe's. Chop some of those up. And then adding another dollop of Greek yogurt because I know we're going to need it with that celery. It's dry. Okay, now let's try a bite and see if it's seasoned well. Beautiful. Wow, I'm obsessed. Wow, very spicy. Wow, very spicy, but I love. So I'm just going to keep this in the fridge and eat it throughout the week, either on top of a rice cake or with some either cold rice or some warmed up rice. It's amazing. Okay, last snack, but certainly not least. I've been having this almost every single night, which is kind of weird and embarrassing, but whatever. A protein drink. This is a Mr. Beast one. They sent them to Tana. They're actually really good. But I've been having them with Oreos. So I take like 3 or 4, sometimes 5, pour a protein shake right on top. Because why have a protein shake when you can have Oreos in a protein shake? Balance, right? I think. And then I usually just bring it downstairs and wait for the cookies to get nice and soft. And then I eat them. Scoop them out. It's almost like a milkshake, except more liquidy. I'm obsessed. And it took me 1 second to make. So, all right, so that was the last recipe. So I guess that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys make some of these at home. And if you do, take a photo of it and tag me on Instagram, Snapchat, all of the things. I will link all my socials down below. Leave a comment down below telling me what you want to see me do next. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.